Hey friends, welcome to today's video. Today's video is all about how much reading is there in Sonlight Core D Science. Hey friends, I'm Stacey and I'm happy to have you join me for today's video. Today I am going to be talking about Science Core D, how much reading is in 1 week. Science Core D is about energy, waves, biological systems, earth systems, and engineering design. So this is roughly a 4th grade level, although it can definitely be for a little bit older, 5th or maybe even 6th grade. This is the 4-day. So they also have a 5-day, but I chose to get the 4-day one. So what I'm going to do is just take you through the week and show you exactly how much reading there is for each day for this week. So again, this is the 4th day, 4-day program. And as you can see up here, it shows how many weeks there is in the year. The school year is a 36-week program and we're on week 17. So this is almost halfway through the school year, what you're seeing here. So the first book we'll be reading from is the Osborne Encyclopedia Planet Earth, page 64 to 67. So I will show you that. One thing I wanted to mention, this is my working binder. I keep maybe 3 to 4 weeks of curriculum in here for my twins, my 4th graders, from Sonlight, and then I just have it easy at one spot and I can carry this around with me. The bindings here I can open and close, and then about once a month I'll take it out and put the next month's curriculum from the big binder, so that way I don't have to be carrying that one around because that one's huge. Okay, so this is the book on planet Earth, and I'll show you some of the other books that we have used already this year at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. But this is the one we're currently reading from. So we'll be reading this 2-page spread about tropical desert, and then also this 2-page spread, which is about the Mediterranean climate. So it doesn't take us real long to get through it. My boys find the pictures interesting. Usually they would just look at the pictures, sit beside me. Occasionally they'll color or draw while I am reading, but for the most part they enjoy just looking at these pictures. Okay, and then also down here it might give you a little note as the teacher. Normally I'll try to read over this on Sunday evenings as I'm preparing for my next week of school, so I kind of know what to expect. And then up here it also gives you ideas of discussion things to I can't talk, things to discuss with your kids. Like it says, ask your children to imagine that they live in the Sahara Desert. What would they wear on a daily basis? What would they do? What would it be like? What would they eat? What animals would they have? All kinds of stuff like that. And also down here says they could look it up on Google Earth, a big massive desert, and look at it on there, which I appreciate that Sonlight give those suggestions and ideas. They're optional, you don't have to do them, but I like sometimes just having ideas and options to pick from that I don't have to think of on my own. Okay, then we have to answer questions 1 through 4. So right back here are the questions 1 through 4, and if you as the teacher aren't quite sure on the answer, they do have an answer key right here for the different science pages. So what I normally do with my boys, my twins, is we just go through and answer these orally and discuss them. We don't usually actually write the answers out, but that's just how I've chosen to do it. I'm sure there are other families that write them out. But yeah, so we go through and discuss them orally, and then that is it for that day of science. So they give these optional activities to do together, and that is the one that I was just showing you guys that was over here and discussing and looking up on Google Maps. So yeah, I appreciate those things. Okay, next day, day 66, is the Osborne Encyclopedia Planet Earth, page 68 to 71. Okay, so this is temperate climates. This is the 2-page spread. And then this one here is polar regions. And again, it's another 2-page spread. For today, they don't have anything in the teacher's guide, so you just go to questions 5 to 10. So down here is question number 5, and over here is 6 through 10. So we just go through and match these up and answer these questions. Okay, and then we move on to day 3, which is reading, I believe, another 4-page spread in that book. So this one is about mountains. Aren't those baby goats just so sweet? So cute, or sheep, I'm not sure which they are. And then this is changing climates. So we haven't actually read these 2 yet. We will be doing this one tomorrow, but yeah, that looks interesting. So right here it says answer questions 11 to 13. Down here in the optional do together is the highest of the high and the lowest of the low. So over here you just go through and read this, and it talks about using Google Earth to help your child explore some of the most extreme places on Earth. Like what's the highest place, the lowest place, the wettest place, the most populated place, and to find that on Google Earth. So I think my boys would really enjoy that and could spend quite a bit of time going through and looking at all of those suggestions. And then here is questions 11 through 13. So it's just just 3 questions today, and then we'd go through and answer those, and that would be that day. So now we've done 3 days of science this week so far, so this is the 4th final day for this week of science, and it is Discover and Do Level D Science Experiments, and number 17, can you turn rocks into soil? So usually down here it will say supplies you're going to need for this week, and then shopping planning list for next week. So they say what they provide and what you need to provide, and then also thinking ahead for next week so you can be gathering any supplies that you might need, like maybe half of a cereal box, like the cardboard half of a cereal box, something like that, so you can be keeping it. So I really appreciate that they do this, because it helps you not to like get ready for science today, open up your book and be like, oh, we don't have this. So I do have the science experiment box from Sonlight with all of the supplies inside that you might not have in your home. Some of them you might have, like masking tape, but they send some along too, and I really appreciate that. So this has made it much more doable to do the science experiments, because I don't have to go around and gather every single thing. There's only usually 1 or 2 things I have to gather. Okay, and then this is Level D Science Experiments, and this is a big, huge, thick book, but it has lots of colors and bright pictures. So this is our one for today, number 17, can you turn rocks into soil? So normally what I do is I try to read this ahead of time, because there is a lot of reading, and I don't want to sit there and read it aloud to my boys. I'll lose their interest pretty quick. They are only 9 years old, my twins. So I try to read ahead of time, and then we'll just do the actual experiment together, and I'll lead the discussion as we're doing it, talking about what is happening, what we think is going to happen, what is happening, and then our conclusion and what we can learn from it. They usually have a go further section where you can go further to if you want, and then you move on to the next one. So yeah, the science experiment for our family, I do recommend reading it ahead of time, so you don't have to sit there and read all that to your boys or children. But if they have a longer attention span, then it's probably fine. You probably can, or if they really enjoy knowing all the details about something like this. But just for our family, for my twins, I know it's helpful if I read ahead of time and can just summarize it for them. Okay, so that is what the reading was for 1 week of Sonlight Science D, and I don't think it's too much at all. It is doable, definitely, and interesting, and I like the big, bright, colorful pictures. I like the instructor's guide and how they give you a heads up about things that might be coming that you should know and plan for. Like if they talk about evolution or something like that, they'll give you as a parent heads up and some ideas about how to discuss it and to word it. Yeah, and to be like, well, they believe this, but we believe this, and here's why. Ideas like that, and I appreciate that. Okay, last of all, I said I would show you guys a couple of the books that we did earlier this year that we have really enjoyed. Okay, so this one was Mysteries and Marvels of Nature, and this is like big, bright, colorful, mostly about animals, and a lot of it had to do with like animals that are predators and how they attack, how they protect themselves. And my boys find stuff like that so interesting. They really enjoyed this book. We would often then go look up a YouTube video of the animal doing said thing. And so that was really interesting. Okay, and then the last resource I want to show you guys that we really enjoyed this school year, we did already, was Coding with Scratch 3.0, and this is part of the science. My husband is really into computers and coding and all things geek and he was really happy that Sonlight included this in their program, and this just takes you through creating a couple little programs, a couple little games step by step using the Scratch website or the Scratch app on your computer. My boys really enjoyed this, my 9-year-olds, and then even my 6-year-old got into this too, and he wanted to do it too. I had to help him some because he can't read very good yet, but we could if I told him which one to click, he could click and drag it and put it where it needed to go. And so yeah, this was really fun. My boys loved creating the games. It just got their appetite whet. This was a thin book, only had a couple programs in it for them to complete. And so they were done with this. They went to YouTube, to the Scratch channel, and on there it has instructional videos for children, how to create some more games and stuff. Some of them are simple, some of them are more complex. And so my boys got into that for a while. They were really into creating games, and even ones that, you know, they had to work on for a while one day, save it and come back to the next day because it was quite involved. And so I'm really happy that they are learning this, and my husband's really happy that they are interested in learning coding and Scratch. So yeah, this is something I wish that it was like 2 or 3 times as big of a book, and it'll take more of the school year because they really enjoyed it, and something I think they'll use a lot more in the future. Okay, so that's all I have for this video. That is how much we read in 1 week of Sonlight SCIENCE Core D, and I'm doing 1 core with 2 children, and yeah, that is what it's like in 1 week of science. I hope you guys found this video helpful. In the description box down below, I will leave a link for Sonlight, and And yeah, I hope you guys found this video helpful, and leave any questions or comments you may have down below. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.